Michael, we are recording. Thank you. Tony, could you do roll call, please?
Yes, I can. Bobby Levin.
Here.
Jean Comas.
Here.
Duke Horton.
Here.
Richard Handelsman. Oh, there you go. You got it now. I knew you'd do it. David Forness. No. Ruth Dries.
Here.
Nancy.
I'm here.
Thank you. Maureen.
I'm here.
Okay. Marilyn Curtis. No. Dennis Burrows.
No.
Eve Block.
No.
Come on now. Diane Andelman. No. Tony Burrows is here. David Boaz.
Here.
John Timmerman.
Here.
I know they're not, I know. Bruce.
Here.
Stewart, no, I don't see him. Mary Jane.
Here.
Fausto. So,
Here.
all right. So we do not have Stewart and we do not have Jerry.
And you do not have me.
Oh.
Joyce.
Michael.
If you got Michael,
Hey.
look on the back page.
Aha. Sorry, Michael. You're on the back page. You're always on the back page, aren't you? Because you're a Z.
The Z will get me every time.
Yeah. Michael Zaslow.
Here.
Olga.
Here.
Flora.
Here.
Les.
Here.
Joyce.
Yes.
All right, I got them all, both
So we have a
sides.
quorum.
We do have a quorum, sir.
Thank you, everybody. Okay, I know you all read the minutes, so I need a motion.
Mine.
I need a second.
I so move.
Okay, Richard makes a motion, seconded by Duke Horton. Are there any corrections to the minutes? Any corrections? Hearing none, the minutes will be accepted as presented. Okay. Everybody knows, we'll start with the easy ones first. Everybody knows Mary Jean, she's our new treasurer. So she wants to say a few words, introduce herself, and let you know what a wonderful job she's going to keep doing. Go ahead, Mary Jean.
Hi, good morning, everyone. I am Mary Jane Gorgeous, I'm your treasurer. I am very lucky to be following in the steps of Joanne, who has done a wonderful job. I do not anticipate having to make any kinds of changes anytime soon. It's been great working with everybody at the UConn office, and I look forward to getting to know all of you.
Thank you. All right, next we're going to go with Donald. Donald, you're up.
Morning, everyone. Just quick updates. First, you know about the fire that happened last week. It's kind of serious. Luckily, no one was hurt. But you have a couple homeless people and you have a severely damaged building. It turns out that earlier in the day, an unlicensed handyman had been hired to install a hot water heater. And that was determined to be the cause of the fire. So that's being investigated by several government agencies. But what do we pull out of this? This has to stop. We have to stop hiring unlicensed and perhaps uninsured handymen to do work that requires licensure, like plumbing and electricity. This has happened before, right? We've had disasters, floods, first floor, second floors becoming first floors, whatnot. We really have to get the word out. No handyman doing work that belongs to a plumber or an electrician. Cheapness is going to get somebody killed around here. That's all I have to say about that. Yeah, go ahead, Over.
Question, if a person does hire somebody who's not insured and not licensed, and there is a fire, is the owner responsible, in other words?
Well, we're going to find out as this tragedy unfolds, okay? I think there's enough blame to go around. The association should be not allowing these things to happen. They should be paying attention. The unit owners should not be hiring people that, and the tradesmen themselves should not be taking on work that they're not licensed or qualified to do.
I was thinking specifically in relationship to the insurance. If the insurance will not pay because they did something.
Well, the insurance companies are gonna work this out amongst themselves, right? The association's an insured party. Presumably, the two unit owners are an insured party. I already know one is, and presumably the LLC that this fellow that put them in, I hope he has some insurance because he's going to need it. So, you know, we're not going to get involved in that. That's going to work itself out. The authorities are involved, but we really need to use this as an object lesson for everybody. This is what happens when we play around.
Well, what we do need is we need answers so that the individuals who are hiring these people know that there are going to be consequences that are going to affect
Well,
them.
as this mess plays out, as it's appropriate to do so, the whole community is going to see what happened. It's going to be a running object lesson. I'm just happy nobody was hurt, because this is one of our wood frame buildings, and it could have been really, really bad. All right. Other than that, 3 projects going on right now. We have South Canal, which is in restoration phase, putting sod back, putting parking bumpers back, cleaning up the job. The excavation work is done. We're working on 2 change orders for that project. One is an additional storm drain that's going to have to go in. That's going to be some money. And it's been determined that there's one stretch of the canal on the south side of the Andover section that's going to require a guardrail to keep people from backing up into the canal. Other than that, that job is finishing itself out. Our engineer was off last week, but he's back, and this coming week he's going to be checking the job. North Canal, moving forward slowly. Your engineer and / project manager, Derek, is almost ready to put out an RFP to four construction companies who are dredging out that canal, and we've got 2 lawyers working on an acquisition of a parcel that's currently unowned, and we need to get title to. So that's moving along slowly, and then the thing that's moving along quickly is the Plymouth Laundry. Concrete floors are done, the plumbing, the electrical is in, we're now working on carpentry, framing, and you see in my reports that there's forward progress going on there. So really excited to see that project get done. I think it's going to look really nice. Hi, Marilyn, go ahead.
Hi, do you have a date in mind on Plymouth
No,
Laundry?
no, I wouldn't. We keep running into this and that. That's a 60-year-old building, so
Okay.
we've already run into a couple of surprises there. And we've had that happen to us before at 5400 Fairway. Same thing, 60-year-old building. So that's pretty much it. Any other questions, guys, or anything you want me to take a look at? That's enough for today. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Don.
Hey, Joe.
Okay.
I have to say, I got that.
Okay, no problem. So, do we have any old business? Yes, Marilyn?
I don't know if it's old or forgotten or good of the order, but I'd like to know what's happened to the advisory committee.
The advisory committee, we just have a new chair, and that committee will be reactivated very shortly.
And what is the new chair's name, please? You said you had one.
Is it Wanda?
Yes, Wanda, I'm sorry. Wanda, yes.
Thank you.
I've only met her twice, so
I can't remember her last name.
I don't remember her last name. But that committee will be working very shortly, along with some other committees. We have a lot of things going on. Any other old business? Okay, under new business, the UCO office will be closed Friday, April 3rd, which is next Friday, in lieu of Passover and Easter. We will have delegate assembly, but the office will be closed and there will be no security meeting. That meeting has been canceled. Okay? The other new business is our insurance person that has a 220 license from Insured Partners will be there on Tuesdays and Fridays, starting next week. She was there on Tuesdays and Thursdays, but she'll now be in on Tuesdays and Fridays. Okay. Any other, does anybody have, yes, no? Go ahead. Richard?
New business, I believe the executive board, this body now has 17 members.
Yes, I know, I'm well aware. I'm
Okay,
soliciting candidates,
okay.
and so far, the people that have asked, that have stepped up to the plate, has been zero,
What a surprise.
okay?
All right.
So nobody wants to devote an hour a month. But I'm working on it.
Okay.
I'm working on that. How about officers' report? We'll start with John Timmerman. He's got a lot to say.
Check 1, 2. Good morning, everybody. This is my first time up here looking out instead of looking in. So I want to thank everybody for coming. I just want to talk about the UCO office and board members. We're getting a lot of people that come into the office looking for certificates of occupancy and their tenants. We don't give them out to tenants. That's the board's responsibility to come in and have that certificate filled out. What I do is I have a copy, if you have tenants, I have a copy of last year's lease, last year's certificate, and the first page of the new lease. You come in, takes a couple minutes. It doesn't take that long to get that certificate filled out with the seal on it. You put your seal on it, you sign off it, and you give it to the tenant. As far as new owners and tenants that come into the office, they have no idea where to go, what to do, and how to get things done. Which brings me to the subject of bulletin boards at your association buildings. I myself have 2 bulletin boards. We have a laminating machine. We post stuff on the bulletin board. Everything from the trash to the recycling, who the board members are, emergency key holder, phone number to make contact with a board member if you need the emergency key. We have the budget up there. We have rules on the outside of the laundry room. In the laundry room, we have a bulletin board, and we have our rules up there. And it's just an educational communication thing. I think every association should have bulletin boards. And I brought the laminating machine to keep the bulletin boards clean. I don't allow anybody else to put anything up there. It's not I don't want no junk up there. I don't want realtors coming around and putting stuff up there. That's the board's responsibility to educate new owners and new tenants. We ourselves, we do what they call a meet and greet. You get a new owner in, you do a meet and greet, we have a form, we go over the rules, patio area, laundry room, the bulletin boards, you know, what your responsibility is there on our property, the trash schedule, the recycling schedule. And, you know, and we have a conversation with them. We get to meet them for a couple seconds, and then they're on their own, but at least they know. We have a form in the office, it's called the barcode form, and it tells everybody about the barcode. Stop by the office, we'll make copies for you, you can put it on your bulletin board, so your tenants and your owners know everything about the barcode. It's an easy task, and, you know, I took it upon myself to get the bulletin boards and the laminating machine, and it just helps people. And you're educating your new tenants and your new owners. And the construction that we've been talking about, it's getting out of hand. If board members are not in town, say you have 5 board members and they're all gone, if you see something, say something. If there's a permit in the window for electrical and they're carrying out kitchen cabinets and sheetrock, there's an issue. It needs to be reported, or somebody needs to be made contact with. And that's all I really have to say, but I want to thank everybody for having me here. That's it.
Coffee and donuts next month. Bruce, you're up.
I'll follow up on John's comment. Thank you very much for having me here again to now do a full 2-year term. Another follow-up. We do have individual residents coming in to pick up or to drop off forms for investigations. Okay, it cannot be individual residents unless they are board members. So we have to ask them, and they become disappointed that they can't do it. But I did calculate that if we didn't have that policy, we could have in excess of 7,000 people coming into the office for investigations. Other than that, I continue on my campaign to keep people out of the road, and I will stop and ask them to consider the fact that they are precious to their neighbors, their family, and to their God, and they need to move to the side out of harm's way. Thank you very much.
Tony, you're up.
I have nothing today. Nothing.
Okay. For those of you that are interested, the 2026 welcome packages are available at the UCO office. So if you have a new renter or a new unit owner, and they come up, they have not received their welcome package when they come to get their IDs, they are available at the front desk.
And Fausto, and they can have them in their favorite color.
Yes. Something that it hasn't been verified yet, but I understand for those of us that are have apartments being listed on multiple listings, they now, on multiple listings, they are requesting a website for your building when you list the building. So we went from 150 to 25, and we've been preaching for the last 3 years that everybody should have a website, so all the paperwork and stuff could be on there, okay? If multiple listing now requests it, the gentleman that was telling me yesterday, they can't even list the apartment unless you have a website. I haven't verified it, but he's pretty good. He's telling me that that's one of the requirements to list. They want to know that all the information for the building is on the website. So I'll look into it a little bit further. David, would you like to say something?
Just one quick thing, and Donald, thank you very much for stepping in at Waltham A, situation where you could not contact any board member whatsoever, and without you just saying, this is what we got to do, saying this is now a danger situation, that could have been a whole lot worse over there. Even though we really don't have permission to do that, technically, it was done, and I appreciate all that you did on that extra. Thank you. That's it.
You want to say anything about May 3rd?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Joyce?
As far as the website for Realtor, how do they access it? Don't you need a code or something?
All you have to do, the website, to get it, the access code is only for special information, like your finances and stuff. But your basic, your bylaws, rules, regulations, that's listed on there. And all you gotta put is whatever your website, whatever your building, Wellington, okay? You should be able to go on there, and anything that's accessible, that's open to anybody, they can get to that website.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. Thank you.
No problem. Anybody else? Did I miss anybody? Yes, go ahead.
Okay, going forward, like when Donna had to step in and take care of that, what happened in Wellington, suppose something drastic like that happened again and they cannot find anybody on the board, are we gonna try to do something to?
Yeah, Flo, so when human life is involved or serious property damage to our clients, you're on the board, you're our client, I have permission from the president to take any action necessary to protect the asset and protect human life. I'll sign on behalf of the boards. They can work out the nonsense later. But the main thing is to limit the damage and make sure nobody gets hurt or worse. When it's an emergency, we do what we need to do. What defines an emergency? Fire, flood, or blood. And in that particular instance, we had all three, so I think we're in good shape. But I live here, when the phone rings, I don't care what time of day or night it is, I'm going over there and I'll do what I need to do.
Oh,
Does that
no,
make you feel a little better?
No, the way David said that you didn't have permission.
I have full permission of that board, as a matter of fact, all right?
I know that we sound like we're preachers. We're not preachers, but every time we sit down and we talk to unit owners, officers, or board members, we're talking about real-life issues. I mean, I've been writing for the last 4 years that every building should have at least 2 board members available in case there's a problem. I know that sometimes that's impossible, but in a particular case like just happened on Friday, if it wasn't for Donald stepping in and doing his due diligence and able to find at least one person to talk to, it could have been disastrous. So sooner or later, buildings are gonna have to make a decision that they're gonna have somebody there or have a management company available 24/7 to help them in that situation.
Yeah, just to clarify, since the subject of having permission was mentioned, I was able to contact one board member on Long Island, and that board member gave me permission to act on behalf of the board, but I'd have done it anyway, all right?
Any questions, anything else? Do we have anything for the good of the order? Yes?
Also, I have a question.
Sure.
Is there any possibility that we can get something like all of Andover becomes one group and they have a board?
They tried that in the past.
And it didn't work?
Chatham Isle had a group, Canterbury had a group, and it gradually, from 20 years ago, it gradually dissolved because people had no interest in being part of the group.
So what I don't mean is the group being a social group.
Right.
What I mean is that,
Consolidation, yeah.
yeah, in other words, one board member of 6 people from the various associations in
Yep.
that same name are the ones that make the decisions.
You gotta remember, Century Village was the virgin. 309 associations. Once you leave this Century Village, some of the other Century Village has, what, 16 associations?
Yeah.
Okay? So that would be, if the associations would be willing to do that, to consolidate, and instead of having something similar to what Dover did, took the 3 buildings, took them together and made one, or all the Greenbriers, or all the Chathams, if they all became one, and you'd be working with a smaller group, but in all honesty, nobody's got the taste for that.
You know what, they didn't 20 years ago, but it's 20 years later, and
Okay,
we've got
so,
a population that's
let's-
6 months off and on.
This is a good discussion, let's game it out.
In other
Ogre, you live in Somerset.
Yes,
All the Somersets are basically on their own island, except the 3, right?
yes.
You would be a very good candidate for consolidation. You would need to take a leadership role, get all of the boards together, sit down and say, are we willing to do this? I can tell you what some of the hurdles you're gonna come up with. Not all your finances are the same, your reserve levels are not the same, the state of, it happens that, I would say all of your buildings are in fairly good condition, but they're not identical. That can all be worked out. But you have to have the political will to do it. You have to get them all together and say, let's be one association, and hire an attorney that specializes in
I
that.
understand that.
Absolutely can be done.
This idea has to be put in everyone's head. In other words, the idea has to be mentioned at a delegate assembly. Just
Well, I got a better
just to
idea.
put something in people's brains so that they could start to think about it.
You know, it's your idea, go with it. You're in Somerset, give it a shot. And once, it's like anything else. Once something happens, other people notice, and copycat is the order of the day. Absolutely, I think it's a great idea.
It would be a lot easier for everybody to work with. I'll give you my example. In Greenbrier,
Yeah.
we sat down a year and a half ago, and here I am, I've got $250,000 in my reserve account, and then I have another building that's got 40,000, and I have another building that has no reserves and is in debt almost $100,000. So putting those, just three simple associations together, our finances are totally different.
You don't
Okay, and I wouldn't want to assume $100 mortgage payment that one building has.
No,
So-
Fausto, I'm not thinking that you put the finances together.
You have to.
What I'm thinking about is you make the
Eventually.
decisions.
But it all has to be one. That's the problem, the independence has to go away. You have to bundle everybody together, get everybody working together.
I don't see it that way.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't see it that way.
Fausto, you sure about that?
I'm positive.
I see
No.
I know.
One at a time.
One at a, guys, one at a time. You don't think so?
No.
No,
So what building do you live in? Chatham. You live in Chatham?
No, wait.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say is this. Okay, like my condo in Altamont Spring, where there's like 4 different buildings. They have one associate, but everybody, each building have their own finance, and they have their own.
That's not gonna work here, that's what you have now.
But if you think about it, it will work if you pull them together and say, this, we're gonna go under one umbrella, but you keep, your finance can stay in Chatham U, your finance can stay in
Go
Chatham
ahead.
P.
All right, so Flo, what I think you're getting at is a neighborhood organization of associations where you could do things like this. Let's all go with one tree guy and make a deal once a year for all of the buildings in Chatham, and maybe we'll get a better price. Maybe all your roofs can be done by the same roofer. Sure, but you have to create an entity to do that.
Yeah, that's what we're
Chatham
talking
used to
about.
have an entity, and it was a real deal. It was with Sunbiz, but over time there were squabbles, frankly, and just disinterest. Eve, you were involved in that, and what happened? Eventually, it just
It went away.
it went away. Lack of participation, and eventually it was dissolved.
But it's just like any other thing, like over time, like, I'm gonna be gone. Then there's a younger group gonna
Sure.
come in with better ideas that came up in a better era of seeing that things can be combined.
So Flo, as a community leader, which you are, get it going. There's Chatham, there's Somerset. They used to be, both of those used to have organizations. You don't anymore. Get it going again. Absolutely, we'll help.
Go ahead, Ruth.
No,
Oh, I'm sorry.
No,
Bobby?
I moved into Chatham 14 years ago. We had an area
Yeah.
association,
Right.
21 buildings.
Right.
Little by little, we couldn't get offices, we couldn't get interest. Within 2 years, it's gone.
Right.
We didn't.
They had to dissolve it. It was very hard to dissolve, because it was a corporation.
We left the money,
Marcia
and
Sicardi's
I
Yeah.
don't even know that it was ever dissolved. just
It was.
went away.
It was. Bobby?
It was the same thing with Somerset. We
Right.
had an association.
Yeah.
And it was really evolved into a social thing. At one point, about 10 years ago, we went to every condo every building in Somerset and asked about putting in a light pole.
Yeah, I was
as you
involved
come
in that.
into Somerset.
Yeah.
And the people on the other side didn't want to contribute because they didn't use that entrance. It became unwieldy.
I have a question, and then I want to make a comment. Who oversees the pool and the tennis courts in Somerset?
WPRS.
Okay, we do have a model in Wellington. We have a separate federation that oversees some of the common interests. It's not an association, but it's a federation. And that is one way to maybe get it going, to come up with.
That's not gonna work. Because the property is owned by WPRF, and I'm sure they're not gonna sell it, and Somerset is not willing to buy it and assume the responsibility.
I might not have been suggesting that specifically. I'm saying for a specific purpose and project, a separate federation. Maybe not, obviously not the pool. WPRF is not going to let go of that, but It's something that's, that
can't.
is functioning well in Wellington.
Yeah, but those are like, it's like Greenbrier, it's like, Gull's Edge, they have their own pool area. It was set up that way so that those buildings can maintain it. At this point, we have I'll say, a gentleman who reached out to WPRF that wants to sell Greenbrier corporate pool to WPRF, and WPRF said, absolutely not. You own it. You're responsible for it. So they're not willing to sell something that technically they may not even be able to sell. So, go ahead.
Well, as Bruce said, Wellington has a federation. The problem is the president of Wellington Federation does not get the cooperation. Like he asked everyone from the 12 buildings to give him a contract that they have with Seacrest, blah, 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 and nobody, you know.
Well, that's part of the problem. This is called management. It's no different than we're trying to get the associations to work together with themselves, their own boards, and with UCO and with WPRF, and they don't want to hear it. You know, go ahead, Donald.
I see Les Rifkin here. Les, not to point on you, but maybe you can give us some, you have said Stratford of Century, which is exactly what we're talking about. Can you give us some history of that and how that came to be?
Stratford of Century was a corporation that was put together prior to the completion of the construction of all of the Stratfords. It initially oversaw.
Wait, Les, he's bringing you a microphone.
We're going to bring you a microphone. This is what we need to hear.
You got it, Les.
Thanks, Bruce. Prior to the completion of all the Stratfords, Stratford of Century, a corporation, was put together to oversee and essentially be a condominium that ran and helped develop the other condominiums. One of the interesting factors was the Stratford builder ran out of money and worked out a deal with Plymouth to put a pool there that Stratford leased until, I believe it's 2068. By the way, you're all invited to a party at that time. And
I'll put it in my book.
Currently, Stratford of Century has a contract with Seacrest to provide maintenance, financials, and janitorial to all of the Stratfords except for one, which is has attempted to withdraw. We also have a contract with Plymouth for the pool that we lease. We meet once a month. This has been ongoing for the 20 years that I've been here. We share information as best we can. It's not the most viable thing in the world, but it's working on various levels.
All right, so I would say Stratford of Century functions as a master association and handles the common contracts that you're all into, most really Seacrest. But each of the Stratford associations are independent. They have their own budgets, they have their own reserves.
Each one has its own budget. There is one bank account, one overall. All the money goes into Stratford of Century,
and they pay the Seacrest bill,
and then it gets split out to each association, rather than having each association be separate financially.
So this may be a model for, say, the Somersets. Something to discuss. This is excellent discussion, by the way. It's the best meeting I've been to in a bit.
Okay, anything else? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion. Happy Easter, happy Passover. Michael, we're done.